Hey, good morning, YouTube. I am getting everything turned on. As you guys probably know at this point, I'm streaming from Instagram and on Zoom as well. So I'm making sure everything is going really quick, and then we'll get started. How are we feeling today? Are we sore? I'm tired. Man, it's that time in the week that just catches up to you. All right, here comes Zoom. Go ahead and grab a medium and a heavy kettlebell. That's what we're going to need for our workout today. All right. Of course, Zoom wants me to sign in again. Launching that. We're in it. Sorry, y'all. Finding an assistant. All right, I'll have that up. Cool. Go live on Instagram now. And then it's time to party. Instagram, good morning. We got YouTube going, we got Zoom, now we've got y'all. It is time to rock. How are we feeling? I am sore, I am tired. Thursdays are always hard for me. I feel like coming off of just 3 hard days of work, those are usually the 3 days that I teach classes in the evening, and it's just not enough sleep at this point in the week. So Friday will be great, but man, it's gonna be tough today. But we do have a really fun workout, so hopefully that will kind of like lighten the mood here. Who is joining today for actual live workout? Hi. We are gonna have snatches as our big skill today. So on Big Brain Day, which is day 3 of every week of my program, we cover our big brain moves for the flow that will happen tomorrow. So the skill that I think are probably gonna trip people up, that's what we're gonna cover today, 1 or 2 of them. And then we cover a big strength piece. So whatever skill we're really focusing on for this volume is going to be covered every 3rd day of the week. For this volume, it's half snatches. For volume 2, it was bent presses. Volume 1, we did not have one particular skill because it was the first volume. So I wanted to just cover everything really well. And of course, we do cover everything every week in some capacity. But half snatches, we're really being strategic with our progressive overload. So we're going to be working with a weight that you can do for 2 reps. Honestly, because we're probably not going to find a 1 rep max that is actually a weight that you have in your possession. So my thought is I'd rather you give max effort for a few reps and cut yourself off when you feel like you're not giving 100% anymore. That makes more sense to me. I teach that in my classes, my barbell classes, teach that in kettlebell, really with everything. Very few people are going to be able to find true 1 rep max every single time they're touching the barbell or the kettlebell. And so what I want you guys to do today is if the weight that you have is too light to do for 2 reps, do it for 3, maybe even 4. Now, if it's the opposite, if it's too heavy for you to do for 2 reps, then of course, do it for 1. That's fine. You can always go back and forth. Do what feels right that set. You can also split it up, do 1 rep on the right and 1 on the left, come back to the right, back to the left. Okay, lots of different strategies to make this possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and get warm. We'll get mobile and we'll get rolling. Okay, start on the floor in tabletop with me. We're starting with our cat-cow as we have been this entire week. Tucking your pelvis, pressing away from the floor. Then sinking your stomach down, arching your back, chest open, gaze up. Let's go 4 more times. I want you to initiate this movement through your pelvis. So I'm scooping my pelvis up, and then the rest of my spine is leading. I'm scooping my pelvis under. The rest of the spine is leading. Got 1 more. And now I want you to be in child's pose. So sit your hips back all the way. Now tuck your pelvis and roll forward, 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to keep shifting forward until your weight meets the floor. So hips meet the floor, weight shifts forward all the way. You're going to open your chest and gaze up. Now tuck your chin and roll down your spine. Pressing through your shoulder blades, rounding through your back. Your weight shifts back until finally you're back in child's pose. All right, this way. Tuck the pelvis, roll forward. Let your hips come down to the floor. Open your chest, make sure your arms are locked out, but that your shoulders are not up on your ears, okay? Squeeze the shoulder blades down and away from you. Tuck your chin, roll back down. Feel free to do another one or two. I'm going to move on to the next thing just to be efficient here with time. Let's go arms out in front of us from this tall position, tall kneeling position. We're going to squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, then reach forward. Shrug up, squeeze back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back. Last one. And now we're going to keep your shoulder blades down and back, open your chest, and rotate over your right hip, extending your arm behind you. We did this from a standing position the other day. I want you to drive your hip forward against the rotation back. We're going to do little circles now, squeezing your shoulder blade down with every rotation. Switch the direction of those circles. Keep squeezing your glute to drive your hip forward. And come back to the front. Reset, left, extend, circles. Switch the direction of the circles. And good. All right, I want to get a little bit of thoracic rotation in. So let's get into a high plank. We're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Open your chest. Now reach this arm up toward the ceiling, and while doing that, squeeze your shoulder blade down and back. Come back to the floor, other side. Open the chest. Let's go 2 more per side. Let's add a loaded beast into it. Loaded beast forward. And reach. Loaded beast, forward, and reach. 1 more per side. And final one. All right. We're going to have 1 set of jumping, and we're going to get into it. So I want you to jump for 1 minute. Do a variation of jumps, maybe pogos, skaters, a little skater with an extra hop, whatever you want to do, we're going to go for a minute. All right, let's start now. 1 minute on the clock. If you're just joining, we're finishing up our warm-up before we get into the workout. Feel free to start with these jumps with us. We do have some mobility throughout the workout. So if you missed that, all good. We'll get you warm. All right, 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, catch your breath. We are going to do 1 more piece on the floor. Let's do Superman Snow Angels. Laying on your stomach, arms out in front, palms up. Toes are going to stay on the floor. Fly your hands off the ground. Fly your arms around to your hips, going into internal rotation, and then back around to the front, into external rotation. 5, nice and slow. Really fight to fly your hands high. Activating all those tiny muscles in your shoulders that we're going to need for our snatches today. Final one. Awesome. All right, if you feel like you need a floor scorpion supine twist, go ahead and hit that one per side. Flip to your back if you want to do supine. We'll hug your knee into the chest, arm out, and then pull your knee across. When you're ready, we'll hit the other side. Awesome. All right, let's rock. So, our first section is focusing on strength. Because we're going to be expending energy today, and because it is the third day of this program, I want to utilize as much strength as we can in the section where that is our focus. So we're hitting that first. That is the reason there. So we're going to be doing half snatches. I'm going to cover some basics of the snatch before we do it, just in case you're new here. And the half snatch is effectively a snatch up and then a pull down. So we're not doing the drop. That kind of takes some of the intimidation factor out of it. But the other piece that's intimidating, if someone has never done a snatch, is what is the path of the bell? And if you ask anyone, they're probably all going to have a different answer. Some think of a high pull, some think of a little T-Rex swing. I kind of think of a combo, but I definitely think of the bell turning over in front of my face so that I'm not over gripping and waiting for it to flip over at the top and it ends up slamming my wrist, or flipping too early and then losing momentum going into that snatch overhead. So what I'm going to have y'all do is do a little like building block exercise with me. We're going to start with a normal swing, then we're going to do that little T-Rex swing. After that, we're going to go T-Rex into a high pull. And then finally, we're going to take that T-Rex high pull, boom, punch underneath it, and that's our snatch. All right, let's go through those 4 movements. I'm going to start on my left side because it's kind of closer to y'all. So we're going to go single arm swings, just 5 reps each side. And these are going to be continuous. 5 reps, letting the bell float right in front of your face. And you do not need to be on your heavy belly yet. This can be a light to medium bell. Other side. Hips are giving all the power to the bell swinging. The arm is just guiding it. Now I'm going to do the short lever swing, so that T-Rex swing. I'm effectively gluing my arm to my side, and this is my pivot point instead of this, okay? The long lever swing is technically a bend in the shoulder and a bit in the elbow, letting it truly float to its apex. In this case, though, we're only letting it float from the elbow. So these are going to be dead stop swings because I want you to be set. So from this hip position, we're going to swing back, short lever, back, and down. And sometimes it's more approachable to meet it at the top of the other hand, just to kind of guide where you're supposed to go. Okay, so right in front of my face, I am meeting the bell, top of the body of the bell with my other hand. Let's go ahead and do 3 per side. Hips are explosive, arms just guiding it. Other side, when we get down to 3. All right. Now we're going to take that short lever swing and we're going to unzip our arm from our side. But on the way down, it's going to follow that same path of elbow coming down and then arm going back. So we are doing from that high position, swing back, short lever swing. It's going to continue floating up. Then it's going to come back down. Elbow will come into our side and we'll cast the bell back into the hinge, okay? These are going to be dead stop as well, mostly because I want you to just have a little bit more time to think about what you're doing in between every rep. If you want to pause for multiple seconds on the floor, be my guest. You do not have to go the pace I'm going. I'm going to be kind of pushing through this fast just because we have so many different rounds of work today, and I just want to make sure we have time for it. Let's go left hand or whatever hand. 3 reps, dead stop. short lever swing to high pull. So we're thinking short lever, unpeel. And I think what it teaches you is to be patient on the high pull, to wait for your hips to fully extend and the bell to start floating before you start pulling. It's not really a pull, it's just a guide. Up. Let's do the other side. All right, so if you've never thought of high pulls that way, or you've been struggling to find a way to slow them down and to be patient with your high pull and really let your hips do the work, that is a great cue to give to get through that short lever swing and then unpeel. Because the timing of it would be really hard to rush if you are truly thinking of it that way. Now, we're going to go all the way overhead. So, that unpeeling of the arm is going to lead to then punching overhead. Now, the bell turnover is going to be happening at this point. I don't want you to overgrip and wait for it to happen at the top. I want you to be okay with it happening right here. It's maybe upside down at this point. And you're going to punch through, and the bell turning over is going to be pushing it back this way, so you don't have to think about getting back here. It's already going to pull you there. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's do dead stop half snatches here. So it's going to be a snatch on the way up, and then just pull down to the front rack, swing back, and park. Let's do 3 on each side, because I'm assuming we're all using our lighter weight to start here. Left hand, unpeel and snatch. All right, pull down, swing back and park. 2 more times. Last one, think of that short lever swing. Fabulous. Let's do the other side. Think short lever, unpeel, punch. All right, that shit's gonna just float up overhead. You're gonna feel like, whoa, that was way faster and easier than I remembered before. And that's because we're using our hips. Be patient. The more patient you are with pulling that bell, the lighter it's gonna feel, okay? Any questions? I know that I'm ripping through these, so make sure I haven't missed anything. Thank you for calling me an excellent coach. I just love that. We love a good compliment. Preach. All right. Well, I'm very excited to see like humans in here. It's really good to know that I'm not doing this alone, especially at this hour on this cold winter morning. So what we're gonna have is 2 half snatches per side with a heavier bell, and then we're gonna rest. And we're gonna do this kind of imam style, okay? So it's just gonna be 3 rounds. It's very quick, but that is because week 1 of the program, my assumption is that maybe y'all haven't been snatching that heavy or doing it that consistently or ever, you know? So I wanna make sure that we're not starting with so much volume that your shoulders fall off, okay? So move that lighter bell to the side, grab a medium or heavier bell. I'm honestly not using the bell that I would normally use for this workout because I want to be able to coach it and not just make it about my workout, because that is not what this is about this week. This is about making sure everyone has their workouts in front of them, stay consistent, especially going into the holidays. So, not y'all, not me. And that is just my excuse for not grabbing the 16. So we're gonna have 2 half snatches. Again, just as we were doing them, you don't have to park it on the floor. As you pull down, you can just swing back and snatch again. If you wanna do that, totally fine. I'm gonna do them as dead stop, just to have a full reset. Here we go. 2 on one side, 2 on the other, or break it up however you'd like, and then we're gonna rest the remainder of the minute. We got it for 3 rounds. Let's hit it. When you're done with 2, switch sides. All right, we're resting about 35 seconds. And we'll do it again. I'm seeing some movement in the chat line. Big brain. Yeah, today is big brain day. As I was mentioning earlier, the third day of each week is when we cover the more intricate skills, hand switch wise, choreography wise, but also when we introduce our big strength skill for this volume of the program. For the next 6 weeks, I have my people on one skill in particular we're really working on getting stronger at. So it's either a clean or a snatch or a Turkish get up or swings. It could be anything. It could honestly even be something hand switch related, like a tactical clean. Whatever it is, you will see it every day 3 of every week. No ifs, ands, or buts. And we're going to be challenging ourselves with using our heavier bells on that skill that we would maybe not touch otherwise. It is time for round 2. Let's go ahead and get it. 2 on each side, half snatch, and go. Other side. Good work. And if you're really using a bell that's challenging, 3 rounds of 2 reps per side is plenty. Because guess what? We have way more half snatches today. So try not to add in more rounds in this strength piece because we do have volume coming up. A medium bell and a couple other skills, all right? So we're resting here. We got 1 more round, and then we'll move on to section 2. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Any questions specifically about the half snatch? I know that not doing the drop makes it less intimidating, but it's still a really tough skill to learn, especially learning the path of. Someone asked what's the weight difference between the 2 bells. I have 2 medium bells up here. I would like you all to have a heavy bell and a medium bell at your disposal because the half snatch is the skill in particular that we are focusing on strength-wise this program. So every day 3, we're focusing on that skill. We're doing this half snatch every week. We're progressing it in some way. Next week, we're taking the weight that we used this week for 2 reps, and we're doing 3. Some people, though, I called this out earlier in the workout, if you want to go for 3 reps today, it's absolutely fine if you're using a weight that kind of calls for that. I want you to go max effort, 100%, like give it all you got, and do the number of reps that equal that. If you feel like you still got more in the tank, add another rep, okay? Let's go ahead and do this one more time. 2 reps per side, or 3, or 1, if you've really got a heavy bell. Let's get to work. Half snatch. So I'm on a 12 kilo here. There's a 10 there. I use a 16 kilo on this workout, but I'm not coaching it. And it's a doozy. I know a lot of people on my team know. Some of the ladies are using 20, 22 kilos, so they're beasts. It's awesome. They follow my program much more consistently than I do. I should probably follow my own workouts more often. All right, y'all, so finish up that final round. I know it almost feels like a tease, only doing 3 sets, but here's the deal. Strength training sometimes feels that way. It is not about getting a good sweat necessarily. It is not about being winded necessarily. When you're going for absolute strength, it's gonna be 1 or 2 reps, long rest periods, and maybe not as many rounds as you're expecting, because the goal is to have your body adapt to knowing that weight. So if you're touching a weight that you're first touching, you're not gonna do 8 rounds of it. You're maybe gonna go 2 or 3. Now, let your body adjust. Next time you touch that bell, it's gonna feel a lot lighter to you. Your body's gonna know what to do with it. And now you can add another variable. Okay, let's add some more volume. Let's do more rounds or add an extra rep in some capacity, okay? So you gotta be patient with yourself. I'm thinking long game here. If I had my 16 in front of me, I'm thinking, okay, that was completely doable. That's a good thing. That means next week when we do 4 rounds, it's maybe gonna feel the same as this, but I'm gonna get it done so much more efficiently. All right, I could be on that soapbox all day long. So section 2 is all about volume. Okay, so we're going down in weight slightly. So I'm actually just gonna stay on my 12 probably. So we're gonna have 5 half snatches to 5 lateral squats. We will then do all of that on the other side. I'm gonna be turning this way so that y'all don't lose me out of the frame that way, and also so you can see the depth of my lateral squat. That is a big piece here. We're gonna warm that up first before we get into it. So move your bells out of the way. We're gonna be stepping into our lateral squat, stepping into the working leg. So the working leg is gonna be the bent one, the assisting leg or the pivot leg is gonna be fully locked out. What we're gonna do to make sure of that is we're gonna stand on one foot. I'm squeezing this glute, leg is totally locked out, and I'm gonna keep it locked out as I fall into a lateral squat. Push back up, knee drive, lateral squat. I am keeping this leg totally locked out, and it is my pivot point. It should be so locked out that you get a quad cramp. Okay? You can go and rest. Let's do the other side. I want you to try to hit as high of a knee drive as you can, as low of a lateral squat as you can. Knee drive, lateral squat. I'm really focusing on squeezing my quad in the straight leg, in that standing leg. All right? Good rest. How do we feel? Adductors sore. Mine were sore the other day, and I felt like a lot in our warm-up today. So if you need to take some time to stretch a little bit more, that's fine. I would say grabbing a foam roller could be good if you have one. But I'm going to take y'all through one really quick stretch, just to let you guys know that this is a good stretch, and I also need it. So I want you to come into your extended mountain climber. I'm going to have you turn your left palm out, so the one opposite of the foot that's in front. I'm going to turn my back foot in, this foot out, so both feet are facing the right side of the room, left hand is facing the left side of the room. And I'm going to sit my hip down toward the floor. You're going to feel a stretch through your oblique, through your QL. Press back up. Let's do the other side. I'm going to do it this way. So other foot, left foot in front, right fingers turned out facing the right side of the room. I'm going to turn both feet to the left, and I'm going to sit into that side. So sitting into my right hip. So right hip is basically down on the floor. Stretching my right oblique, right QL. Woo! That is a big stretch. Did anyone try it? All right. Yeah, Malcolm, you feeling sore from the workouts? I am too. Big time. All right, let's do this thing. So 5 half snatches. I'm going to do these as continuous. So instead of coming down to a parked position in the hike position, I'm going to go right into the hinge, back up to a snatch. Just remember, don't do a drop coming out of it. I want these to truly be half snatches. In future weeks in this program, we do add the drop, but because I'm not covering it today, I would rather know that everyone out there is not adding it unless you totally feel comfortable with it. But I really don't want us to give energy just to the snatch up and not focus on the downward part of the snatch. So right hand is going to be on the bell. We're going to go through this first round pretty slowly together, and then we'll start cooking, okay? We've got 4 rounds ahead of us. Right hand on, half snatch, pull down. So you're back, snatch, pull down. You got 5. After your 5th one, keep it in the front rack. Whichever side the bell is on, you are stepping into that leg for a lateral squat, 5 reps. Now we're going to park the bell. And we'll have it on the other side. Okay, left hand on. Half snatch. Pull it. Snatch. Down. 5 reps. Keep the bell in the front rack position. You've got 5 lateral squats. Focus on that assisting leg, the pivot leg, staying locked down. All right, perk your bell when you get done. And we're resting. How do we feel? Woo! That one's not for the weak, let me tell you. Woo! I'm taking a seat. All right, any questions? Are we on the right bell weight? This one should wind you. That's a lot of reps. It's 20 reps in a row. So if you need to adjust, feel free. I'm going to stick with my 12 as long as I can, which I know is the whole workout. I'll be fine. But this is my true working weight for this one, so it's definitely winding me. Let's go ahead and hit round 2. All right, right hand on. 5 half snatches, 5 lateral squats, and then hit the other side. Let's hit it. How are these half snatches feeling? It should be feeling good at this point. If you feel like you're pulling the bell, go back to that short lever swing. In between. Maybe do just 2 or 3 snatches with the short lever swing in between, or the short lever swing unpeeling the high pull, just to make sure that you're getting that half down. That's more important to me than just doing a million reps, okay? Left side. All right, 5 lateral squats. All right, take a rest when you get done. Whew. That is rough. I saw everyone in my team complaining about this complex every week. Because basically, over the course of the 6 weeks, we cover a similar feel of the workout every week. I want there to be a progressive overload component to it. So I don't want everything to be changing all the time. But we pick one thing to change. Whether it's the reps, the weight, the time, whatever variable, we pick a variable and we tweak it. One variable that's not changing though is that these half snatches are not going away. So they always know in some capacity they're gonna have half snatches, a lateral squat, or maybe a low swing into a clean and then a lateral squat. That is a different week in this program, and it's basically just getting their conditioning up, getting them used to those half snatches, getting them used to doing really long rounds, and doing things they might not program for themselves, like lateral squats. I, for whatever reason, love them, but I know that I'm one of the few, which is why I give them to my clients every single week, because I know no one else is. All right, round 3. Let's hit it. Right hand on, or left, whatever one you're starting with. Whew. Sorry, y'all, I had to go into mute mode and just focus because it's starting to get tough for me. All right. Woo. Taking a breather. Yes, we've got one more round of this. So we're gonna hit these snatches and lunges one more time. And then we have a big brain move that is kind of off script, if you will. It's not exactly what I had programmed on this day in the program, but I think it covers three movements that can be confusing for people. And since I'm on live with y'all, it's just a good opportunity to kind of get this message out in front of as many people as I can, the ways that I like to teach those three skills. So that one's only really gonna be like one long practice round. So we're almost done, y'all. We got one more round of this. Let's hit this volume. 5 half snatches, 5 lateral squats. All right, yes, it's tough, man. And this one is not Elon, by the way. This one is intended to have like 2 minutes of rest in between because it's so much. I would rather y'all have more energy to put into it and be recovered versus like just rushing through to rushing through, you know? So I prefer like a full recovery in between these rounds and make that vastly different from the way that we feel during the actual working set. Here we go, y'all. 5 and 5. I feel like people have a tendency to rush the lateral squat because they try to make it the same tempo as the snatch, and it's not. So take your time on those lateral squats, okay? Find your depth. Sit there for a second. And it doesn't have to be the most explosive stand up, okay? I know it's tough. Finding our end ranges here, that's for sure. All right, finish up that round, take a rest. Then I'm gonna tell y'all what we have in these final 2 minutes. Catching my breath, because man, this is kicking my ass. So, we have a figure 8, tactical snatch, windmill. Those 3 skills I love. I have them in a lot of my flows. If you've ever watched any of my flows, those skills show up a lot. The figure 8 is a great starting point to make any flow a little bit fancier. And it is a hand switch, okay? So the hand switch happens behind the leg, which is what makes it tough. There's lots of different ways to approach it. You can do a palm to palm transition. I like to teach thumb to thumb. So from one hand going to the other, there's no rotation of the bell. And then we're gonna go into a tactical snatch from there, which I teach just like a tactical clean. And finally, my favorite loaded mobility with the kettlebell is the windmill. So let's go over it. I'm gonna go back to my little bit lighter bell. Mostly so I can slow all this down for y'all. And what we're gonna practice is that figure 8 first. We're just gonna be going like this. Okay, it's swinging back and forth, back and forth. We're gonna get to know that swinging back and forth first by putting both hands on the bell and just swinging back and forth like this. We're staying in a squatty hinge. Go ahead and do this with me. I'm kind of pulsing every time I hit the end range of the swing. So I'm the back and the front. I'm pulsing into it to get to know where that change of direction is happening. Go ahead and park your bell. Now we're going to try our figure eight. I would suggest keeping your feet a little bit closer than you think you need them so that you don't hit the outside of your knees, okay? Right hand's going to be on. I'm going to pass it behind my left leg. It's going to swing forward. I'm going to pass it behind my right leg. It's going to swing forward. As it swings forward, it's going to go around to go forward, okay? Otherwise, if it's going straight forward, it is hitting that knee. Let's go right hand on. Pass behind the left leg, swing forward. Behind the right leg, swing forward. Left, swing forward. Right, swing forward. Get to know this. The hand switch happens in the back. The front, we're just being patient. And rest. How do we feel? Okay, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a hip extension to it. So we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to extend at the top. Extend. When we extend, I want you to wait until the last possible moment to extend, because if you extend early, same thing, it's going to hit your knee. So I want you to wait to extend. Last possible moment, extend. And that hand switch is happening kind of low. Go ahead and practice it, but the hand switch is happening like here, okay? So when you see a swing with way too much space in it, that's essentially what we're doing here. So go ahead and practice that. The hand switches for the figure eights. All right, that is our figure eight, whatever it is, it's figure eights, okay? Figure eight swings. Now we're gonna add the tactical snatch to it. So as I bring it around, I'm gonna catch it underhand with the hand that I started with. So we're not really doing a switch from side to side. We're getting right back into the hand that we started with. When I catch it, I'm catching it underhand, and I'm going to continue up overhead until my palm is over my head facing the front. All right, let's try this together. Right hand on, switch behind the left leg, catch underhand with the right. And then from this point, continue up overhead. Pull down, swing back and park. Let's do it one more time on this side. Now try to make that catch and press really smooth. That is our figure eight tactical snatch. Let's do the other side. Left hand, left to right, overhand to overhand. Then catch underhand and press overhead. Park. Now do the catch and press really smooth. One straight into the next. That is our figure eight tactical snatch. I ran out of time. It's 7:31. I'm going to be doing my barbell class now. I'm going to be back on here in a second. If you want to go over the windmill with me, we're actually doing it for our warm-up for the barbell workout. So feel free to join there if you want to get more work in with the bell, specifically with the windmill. And then we've also got heavy squats, so feel free to stick around for that. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to log off now, get in there, and get started. So I will see y'all later. And yes, this is all beginner friendly, okay? All of my programming, I would say, is, but especially the workouts that I'm streaming this week, they're all beginner friendly. And that's why they're the ones that I'm streaming live, because I don't know where people are starting from. So I want to make sure I'm giving them something that I feel responsible as a coach, programming for them. So thank you for joining. See y'all in the barbell room in just a sec. All right, thank you, YouTube. I'm gonna have this posted in a second, and I will see y'all also for the barbell workout in just a minute as well.